Hey guys, what, this is yours truly, the Big J and J saying, welcome along to Adrian J Online. Today, we're on Adrian J's diabetes page, so don't move the dial. We're going to be talking about injections. Okay, so I haven't done a video in a long time. I've been meaning to do this. In fact, I think I did do a video on this, and it got corrupted, and I hadn't had a chance to do another one. Please look at the other videos that I've made in this section on diabetes and medications and stuff, because that will probably help you understand what I'm going to talk to you about. There are two types of medications, generally speaking, that diabetics have, depending on the type of diabetes you have. You can either have oral oral medications, or as I just said, injections. So the most common, and I'm not going to go into too deep about stuff because this is actually just a demo of of a product. Now, the most basic common requirement if you're a T1 or even a T2, which I am, is insulin. Insulin is something which is lacking in a diabetic's body, or the insulin is not enough to do its job. So what we do is we give ourselves insulin, and at the moment the only way to give yourself insulin is by injection. You have to inject insulin, and there's a whole subject on how much insulin, what insulin, where to inject, all this kind of stuff, and I really don't want to go into that. Right, so a lot of people, okay, put it like this. There's a fair amount of people, if you ask them if they like injections, they will say no, they don't like injections. In fact, I was a really, really bad needle phobe. When I was younger, I used to hate needles and all the rest of the kind of stuff. I hate it, and my daughter's kind of on the same tip. But as a diabetic, if you are ever diagnosed and you need injections, you need insulin, you need that to live. That's it, period, end of story. You can't not do it, or you're going to die. It's a short, sharp and sweet solution. If you ask anyone who's diabetic, or anyone, full stop, if you like injections, they'll say no, they don't like injections. If you ask people whether they can give themselves an injection, even fewer people will say yes, they can. Eventually, as a diabetic, if you have to give yourself injections, there's different ways to do that, but generally you have to learn how to do it. When I first started, I ended up sitting on the bed trying to inject myself. It took me 15-20 minutes before I actually even got the needle in to give myself a shot. Now, syringes, at least diabetic syringes, are not the same as your run-of-the-mill other syringes. They tend to be smaller, thinner, and they're coated with a special material, so it means when the needle goes in to your skin, it doesn't hurt. Actually, honestly, it doesn't hurt. It's more the case of getting the syringe and going 1, 2, 3, stab. You have to stab yourself. Now, as a diabetic, if you're going to give yourself injections, you would usually give yourself in the upper arms, in the thighs, in your stomach, or in your butt. Okay, so trying to give yourself an injection can be nerve-wracking, and if you're a really bad needle phobe, honestly, it is really, really hard. People honestly don't understand. So I came across a couple of products. One which was by Medical House, which was a needle-free injection system, which basically aerosoled the insulin into your skin, and that worked sometimes, but they discontinued it. When I landed here in Canada, they didn't have it, so I was stuck with needles. And then I came across injectees. Now I do have a photo video of this here somewhere on my page, but I thought I'd actually do a proper video as opposed to pictures. I want to get a bit closer up, so let's go through. I'm going to go through a few bits and pieces with you on the device, and then I'm going to do a demonstration how to use it. It actually, from loading the syringe up to giving yourself an injection, it's literally under a minute. I can do it in 30 seconds if I'm in a rush. Okay, now let's have a look at a needle. Now, one other thing I'm going to mention to you is that I'm not sponsored by anyone. I have not got any backhanders. I've got nothing given to me. I'm doing this purely because this will help some people. Now, this is not just for diabetics. If you have to give yourself injections for anything else, say for example cancer treatments or anything like that, this will work. And this will also work with any needle. So if we carry syringes around with us. If you're in another country and you have the same type of needle syringes, you can still use it. Okay, so let's go through a few things. This is a syringe. Okay, this is a special diabetic syringe. You actually, it's got a lot of bad press because also drug users use this. They'll use a syringe like this. This is not your syringe when they take blood or when they give you a shot. This is something slightly different. And if you look here, I don't know if you can see here. I might not be able to see here, but the syringe, the needle is actually very, very tiny. Can you see how tiny it is? It's that much, and it's very thin. And it's very sharp, and it's got a thin coating on it. So that helps when you go to give yourself a shot, that it doesn't hurt. Now, can you imagine, see, get my arm, I'm not going to do it because I hate doing this. If you can imagine trying to stab yourself with this, you end on the bed trying to stab yourself with this. It is not normal. Our bodies are designed in a way that we cannot self-harm. I mean, we can self-harm. There are people who self-harm, but you have to be in that mental state to do that. But normally, your body will not let you cut yourself. So, like if you have a knife and you want to try and cut yourself, you can't. You just can't. It's a self-protection device. So, trying to inject yourself and stick a needle, a sharp needle in you, even though you know it doesn't hurt, right, is not natural. So it's totally fine. Your feelings about, I don't want to take injections, I can't give myself injections, is absolutely totally fine. Now, this is a diabetic pen, an insulin pen. You may have seen this. So if we open it up here, can you see here? This is filled up with your insulin. And what you're supposed to do, you put a needle on there. I don't know if I've got a spare needle. It's a special type of needle. I'll see if I have. Oh yeah, here I have there. You see here? You fit that on the top there. It screws in, and there's a little teeny tiny needle there. You dial in the amount of insulin you need. Then you put it on your hand, and when you press this, it actually, there's like a spring in here, and it injects. But still, okay, even though it's a teeny tiny needle, you have to go 1, 2, 3, bam. It's very difficult to do that, all right? Now, I'll tell you how you can get around it, right? The first thing with needles, what's the first thing we get scared of? We see it. If you remember, if you think of when you go to get a shot, what do? When they're about to give you a shot, you don't look, okay, give me a shot. You do that, don't you? You don't look at where they're going to give you a shot. So, okay, go on, I can do it, I can take it, and then give you a shot. And when it sits in there, you can look at it and go, oh, it didn't hurt, you did a good job. So the first trick is not to see the needle, okay? So that's what you have to do. And you have to have some kind of mechanism. So when you have the insulin, to push the insulin into you, or whatever thing you're using. So I came across this, I think it's about 30 or 40 bucks. It's called Injectees. This is the device. Okay, I'll break it down for you a little bit. So the good thing with this, there is really no moving parts. I mean, there is. I think it's the little spring in here and a clip. That's it. I've had this for about 10 years. It's never broken. It's been fantastic. So I'm going to break this down for you. It comes with this bit. It's called a ring. It's called comfort ring. And this is actually the device. If you see in here, can you see here? Yeah. And what actually happens is when you prime it, you pull this back. Okay. Then when you press, did you see how this goes in? So this is all this is doing. Okay, so Pull this back. Bam. Okay, now, how does this help me? How does this help me? So, let's just say, for example, I have my syringe. Okay? So what we do is, we take this out, we load up the syringe. I'll show you that in a bit, but I just want to show you the basic bit. We load up the syringe. Now we've got to load the syringe, okay? You pull this back. Can you see this hole? You put this into the hole. Very carefully, you, without hitting the needle, push it in, can you see? And then this locks. Can you see there? You see that? Now this is the other end, can you see? Right? So when we've got this primed, when we press, watch what happens. Do you see? I'll pull this back in. So prime it, press it. Okay? Now, I didn't put any fluid in this, but let's just say we do this. We imagine we've got some fluid in there, got some insulin. We lock it. As soon as we press it, it fires through the spring. Then we push the liquid into us. Okay, now let's take this out. Now, that's not very good because I can still see the needle. No, you can't. So let's put this back on again. Now, you have what's called a comfort ring, because actually this has to go just a little bit into your skin, under the skin, or into fat actually. It should not go in very deep because just how insulin works. I don't really want to go into that. So what we want to do is, I'm going to show you. All right. I'm going to take my glasses because I really can't see. Sorry about that. So can you see how much the needle is coming out? So that is going to be, if I pull this back, can you see? Here, and then there. This length, and it also depends on how fat you are, how much fat is going in, right? That's too much needle. You only need a little bit. So it comes with a, and as everyone's different, there comes with a different set of comfort rings. So let's take this out again because I don't want to stab myself. If we put this comfort ring on here, right? Now put this on here. Can you see how it's moved this out a bit longer? So now if I put this back in again and fire it, can you see the difference? That's how much needle you need in going into your body. Only a little bit. It doesn't need to be too deep, right? So, right, now, I hope you're getting it. So, let's get to a stage where we have the device. We're going to give ourselves an injection. We prime, we get our syringe, we fill it with insulin. Okay? We pull this back, lift this up to give us some space to put it in. We push it inside. Whoops. I'm trying to video as well, so it's a bit manky. Okay, right. So this is locked on. Can you see how it's locked on? Can you see? It's locked onto there. I see how I go up and down. See, it's locked. Now, can you see? Oops, sorry. Can you see? You can't see any needle. See? See? No needle. So immediately your brain is going, oh wow, it's okay, I'm not scared. Now, when you're up against your skin, bam, there you go. Now, did you see how fast also that went in? Now watch again how fast that went in. So the trick to giving yourself an injection, especially with this, I'm not talking about what happens at doctors and these kind of things. You want in and out, in as quickly as you can. So you want to go onto there, boom. Okay, so let's take this out because I want to show you a demonstration. So what you want to do is you want to prime it, put it on here, bam. The quicker it goes in, you're not even thinking, wow, I can't feel it, okay? And because it's lubricated and everything else. Right, so you can't see the needle going in. It doesn't hurt. It's portable and you can do whatever you need to do with it. That is the beauty of this device. Now, I'm supposed to be taking my shot in about an hour's time, but I'm going to give you a demonstration. So, this works on any source of insulin. So for example, if you remember the old insulin vials, I'll put a picture here somewhere. What you do is you would poke this into the insulin vial, like you see in the doctors, and then you draw back the insulin, or however much you need, and you're ready to go. Now, when I came off vials and I got on pens, I thought, how can I use a vial? I have a pen. Now, these sometimes come in cartridges as opposed to pens. But I found, and I've been doing this for about 12 years now, you can use this as a vial. Can you see here? See that rubber bit there? That seals, okay? So, and I'm going to show you how I do it, because actions speak louder than words. When I want to draw insulin, I push it into there, okay? I turn it upside down, and then I draw back. I'm trying to show you as I'm doing it. I draw back how much insulin I need. And I want today 26 units. Can you see there? You may be able to see it, 26 units. My pen's nearly finished. And can you see it's drawn the insulin down there? As I pull it out, this is self-sealing. It won't leak. Trust me, I've been doing this for a long time and I've had no problems. So now, I've loaded up my syringe. Now, don't prick yourself. Now, you would already have got this ready primed. I'm sorry if I'm looking over here, because now I haven't got my glasses on, I can't see what I'm doing. I can actually, but syringe is in there. It's primed. Okay? It's primed, ready to go. So, today I'm going to give myself a shot on my arm. Now, there are going to be people who say you should actually do it at the bottom, and that's actually true. I like doing it here, because it's just easier. Okay? So, argue amongst yourself. So, here we go. Get this. Can you see? Bam. The needle is inside me. You can't see. Well, maybe you can. The needle is inside me. It does not hurt. Did you see how deep that went? How quick that went? Yeah. And I'm talking to you quite sanely, quite calmly, and I have a needle stuck in me. I can't feel it. All right? Now I'm going to give myself the injection. The trick is to do it slowly. You're supposed to count for 2 or 3 seconds or 4 seconds. I don't really do it. I just give myself a shot and pull it out. Okay, see? I don't know if you can see there. There. That's the mark. And that's the needle. And if I pull this out, you'll see the syringe is empty. So I really did quite a long session on showing you how to do that. Literally, it takes 30 to 35, maybe, let me get my glasses on so I can see you. Oh, it's better, you're over there. It takes 30 to 35, maybe even 40 seconds, right, to give yourself an injection, and you're on your way, okay? And the good thing with this is that you can put this in your kit. If anywhere in the world you need a syringe, you can use the syringe. You can always buy vials of insulin. You may not always be able to get the pens or these special needles, but you can always get syringes. So this is a little tip. If you're ever going away abroad, anywhere, get a set of needles, syringes, and also get some vials. So if you need to, I mean, it doesn't matter. As you've seen, you can get insulin out of there. Have one of these, and you're good to go. Now, another little quick point on insulin. People mentioned about storing insulin. Modern day insulins are really good at high temperatures or higher temperatures. You shouldn't keep it in sunlight or very hot, but I think they can take up to maybe 30 degrees centigrade, something like that. I mean, quite hot. What they don't like is to be cold and frozen. That will kill the insulin. So try and keep it in the fridge, not under 7 degrees. The reason we don't keep pens in the fridge and then use it is because cold insulin hurts. If you've ever given yourself an injection, it stings, it's because you're using cold insulin. So you take the pen out, you keep it in the house, no problem, doesn't need to be in any special containers. And you've got a month to use it, and because it gets warm, it doesn't do anything special. Oh, sorry, because it's warm, it doesn't get damaged. But do not freeze it. It should, the very minimum, 2 degrees centigrade or 1 degree centigrade. If it hits 0, it's usually useless. And you can tell if you ever see that your insulin is cloudy, it's no good. It won't kill you, it won't damage you, you won't get an infection, but it just won't work. And as diabetics, we need to know that the medicine we've given ourselves will work. So I hope you like this video. If you like this video, please like, please subscribe. I'll try and leave a link somewhere or at the end of this thing where I got it from. I think I got it from a place here I'm in Canada, Ontario, Mississauga, and I got it from a place called Diabetes Express, I believe, many years ago. I'll try and find some links and some screenshots and put it in. You can get one of these. This has lasted me 20 years, about 15 years. Maybe, no, not 15, 12 years. Sorry, I've been in this country about 15 years, so about 12 years. So 20-30 lasts, and if I were you, I would buy 1 or 2. I'd buy 2, then you've got a spare one in case it breaks. Like, this is plastic, so still someone can step on it, you can fall out of the car, you can lose it. So luckily I hang on to this like it's my lifesaver. And just to reiterate, this is not just for diabetes. If you've got, like, for example, cancer, or if you have a chronic illness and you have to give yourself pain medications, as long as you're using this type of needle, this type of syringe, you can use this, okay? So if you're a carer, see, there's another thing we don't think about. Sometimes we don't give ourselves injections. Let's say, for example, if you're old or you're a child, and your carer has to give you an injection. Some people don't like doing this. Imagine your mother or father wanting to give this. They're starting to shout downstairs, so I'm really trying to rush. So your mother or father or whatever may not leave to do that, but at least they can use this. Or you can just say, hey, little Joey, you can use this. And even a kid can use this, okay? As long as you can do this, you'll be fine. So, as for me, I'm out of here. Thanks a lot for watching. Please like and subscribe. And I've got a couple more videos I want to do for you guys, so stay tuned. Don't go away. We out of here. Word to your diabetic mummy.